narration option is set to off. Entering settings screen, you have 18 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons. And ice cream whip, triple school. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debate.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Houston Texans. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Jackson. His throw incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
From the gun, it's Jackson. He sets to fire deep. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played. But you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
First carry now for the Memphis man, Darrell Henderson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big pickup of 38. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh play.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They'll drop the throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Well, no takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Motion. Check 13. Check 13. Shift.
Looking to throw. And he's got the hook up to Moore. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Gurley. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll try a handoff right with Gurley. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Jackson now. He's got his man, T.J. Hawkinson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. 1st down. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 36. Jackson from the shotgun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give that sack to Harrison Phillips, the big man.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
And Tatterso sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. There he goes inside the 30. Touchdown, Vikings! Harris Campbell hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Everybody likes to see the long ball thrown, but when you throw it underneath and you see someone catch the ball, secure it, make their moves, and then turn it into bigger plays, that's a lot of fun to watch as well.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Check. Fresno. Check 24. Check 24.
2nd and 5. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the screen.
On first down, they go option to the right. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Second and 13. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
At the 48-yard line.
On first down, it's Gurley. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up.
From the 39, Jackson, he'll take a shot for the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Check.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Jackson on 1st down. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play.
55. Check, 55. Mike. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. 55, Mike, guys. 55. Go.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question, because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Gurley on 1st down with no blocking help there, as he won't even make it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 1. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 27-yard line.
54 minutes. Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Here's Jackson. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
Yeah, at the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
56 is the most.
They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. We see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed a big hit for a loss. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy?
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Paris Campbell with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Kill.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Let's go. 15 on it. Rip left. No. Off. Check 24. Hey,
2nd and 11. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive there. He hits the reliable target. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
57 to Mike. Push him back. Lucky. Jim.
2nd and 10. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. 3rd down here.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Back to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
He'll return it from the 6. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone and all.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way down inside the 25 before he gets out of bounds. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. Jackson. Finding Green complete. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down.
He steps out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, Jackson. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
2nd and 9 now. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. He'll drop to throw. And he comes back with one complete. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
That's it. Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to look deep for more, and that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
A throw over the middle, taken in. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Exactly. So I can't wait to see if we come out of the half.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Rashawn Gary has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now it's Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson. But now it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down. Then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back. But it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Watch the screen. Pass. Check 3. Check. Hustle.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Houston. In for the score. And the Texans get a bit closer.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now Jackson throwing again. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. The 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
Check safety, check safety. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's go, baby. Return up. Let's get that ball. Get that ball. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Play action. It's Jackson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it. Couldn't get it. And it's 2nd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they're going to measure revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Let's see what you got. Go, go. Check, check, check. Up, up. Yeah, yeah. Some backfield.
Jackson now to throw again. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54, Mike. Get your swerve on. Mike, Echo. Mike, 50. Let's go.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Got an open man. That's Campbell. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Watch the run, watch the run. Oh, try. 54 is Mike, 54 is Mike. Check, check, watch 54, watch.
And Jackson throwing once more. There goes a deep ball, end zone. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Marquez Valdez-Scantling in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered. Defensively, a disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean, the excitement level goes way up, but maybe we shouldn't be, because I know as a defender, you've got to play the ball in this situation, but you can't interfere with the receiver because, remember, it's a spot foul, and it'd be first and goal if it happens in the end zone, and you don't want to give up that play. And that little bit of hesitancy often works really well for offensive guys.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. Check.
They'll throw now on the final play. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll look to throw here. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 23 yards the pickup there. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. This quarterback now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10.
Lock 57. It's a party now. It's a party now. Check.
They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. The throw right sideline here is complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 5.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
First down. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. It's a quarterback sneak, and he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. It's their quarterback, keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Texans cut into that lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think, at any moment, I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. Throwing on second down. Jackson, flush to his right. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Texans here on third down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. From the gun, it's Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Rashawn Gary, and that's going to make it fourth down. The Vikings send out their punter, standing just outside his own goal line. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter.
Strong right, strong right, strong right. 4 down, check, 4 down.
Second and 2. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Check 37, check 37. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Watch it. What? Go.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Watch twins.
Jackson now down around his goal line. Looking for Campbell downfield. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson. Going to throw again. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. He'll have a 1st down and more past the 20. They give him a gain of 38.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush. A lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10.
That's what I do.
Jackson from the shotgun. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. The end result, 21 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Again, Jackson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Well, this D, particularly the secondary, has been picked apart at points here tonight. They finally, though, get to the quarterback, get a pick.
And we know this about him. He loves night games, loves the spotlight, loves being the center of attention. I will bet you that he ran off the field almost chuckling to himself. They finally got one. They finally got me.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
2nd and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Check three.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And that's knocked away and incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Here we go again. 49, check out. Check 49. Hey, watch it, watch it. Set up. There you go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's got a man complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 44-yard line. A huge play there for Houston. 42 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
57 to Mike. 57.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this 3rd quarter play. Back now in Houston, it's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
57. Mike, 57. Let's go, D. Let's go. Wide. Get wide.
He'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's going to be caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DK Metcalf hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Rosas good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it. For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And his throw here is incomplete. He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell. And it's 3rd and short. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football. Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up. The Vikings on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 3. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Defensively, they rallied the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at about the 14. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise, this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On the carry is Henderson, and able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day. Check. Crunch. 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 Check 4. Check 4. Ready, go.
Here's a 2nd and 7. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Texans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 16.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57. That's the pass. 57. Mike 57. Hey, let's get
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. They'll drop the throw. Going to throw deep for the end zone. DK Metcalf hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans have taken the lead. Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the fourth quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the fourth quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that will make this a 4-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Throwing is Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. From the gun, Jackson. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Raekwon McMillan able to record his 5th sack of the season. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Take it at the 37. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They'll run on 1st down. It's Henderson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Here we go. Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57. All day, punk. 57. Mike 57. Let's go. Get off the field. 57's Mike. Mike 57. Hey.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins.
Go. Watch the shit.
They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of 1st downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 1st downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Here we go. Under 10. 10.
Throwing again. Jackson. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Yannick Ngakoue, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
Sack City, baby.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And my goodness, that means this next drive will begin 4 yards from the end zone already. They'll come out in the pistol. So this one fairly well in the bag as they take over with a 1st and goal. They'll run here with Henderson. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop. 1:50 left in the football game. Second and goal from the 6 this time.
You're not ready. You're not ready. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Again, it's Henderson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. And he's got the hook up to Moore. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Rosas' kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. And from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. An incompletion, now a short pickup. That's not going to do it.
Yeah, you've got to get to the line of scrimmage quickly, get set up, and aim downfield.
Jackson to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles. And really the difference, obviously, was that fourth quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for the Texans, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.